3, 2, 1. Hey guys, what is going on? It's me, Jen, and this week's video is going to be a little different than my usual videos, but I felt like you guys would be super interested in it, so I'm just taking a risk. I love Picmonkey. Picmonkey is one of my favorite editing software places, and I know that you guys are very creative, so you might like it as well. And if you didn't realize that they went through a huge overhaul recently, and they really amped themselves up. So I want to talk to you guys about how to use Picmonkey, the changes. I made a video about Picmonkey like a billion years ago, but there was no sound, so I'm just going to show you guys like the new and improved Picmonkey. If you guys cannot afford like Photoshop, or you don't want to use Photoshop because it's too difficult, Picmonkey is like a very easy software for anybody to use. I absolutely love it. There is a free version and a paid version, so whatever fits your budget. I have the paid version because I use it like all the time. Every thumbnail, Picmonkey. All right, so let's go through and have a little bit of a tour. If you go here, this what we're in right now, when you open up Picmonkey, this is what it shows you. There's a couple of different things. You can create a brand new piece or project. There's a hub, and that's basically what this is. This is awesome. I love it. I work from a couple of different computers, so sometimes I'll create a thumbnail on one computer and then need to use it for another computer. And now Picmonkey has this great hub so that any thumbnail that I create will now be able to be used on any computer that I have. If you guys recognize this one from last week. So the editor is where you go in and edit the pictures. Templates is where you can find tons of different templates. Now, they have two different types of templates. The first is templates that are, I'm just going to go into templates. I don't really use templates all that often. I'm just going to slide through. I don't use templates all that often, but they're great if you need them. So they have a bunch of these pre-made templates that you can go in and use and like edit and do whatever you want to do with. They're just tons that give you lots of inspiration. But if you don't want to do that, you can instead go through and choose blank canvases. And what I love about this is they have blank canvases for any type of social media. So this is YouTube overlay ad. This is for your YouTube display ad. This is just all the YouTube thumbnail size, so which is awesome. Let's go through and look at some other ones. They have Facebook, basically any social media, Instagram, Pinterest, more YouTube, Twitter. So you can go in there and you can just choose whatever. Then they have different categories. They have cards, they have postcards, business, Facebook, Instagram, all this different stuff. So whatever you kind of need, and then they have different sizes that you can choose from. So let's just choose something for fun. Let's look at business real quick. So these are business templates. You can go in there and you can just go in and just edit anything you want. What I like to usually do is start with create new. So when you go to create new, you have different options. You can get something from your computer. You can get something from the blank canvas, or you can create a blank canvas, the hub, templates, or more. Oh, I forgot to show you guys one important thing. Let's do this right now. Also, if you guys want to do collages right here, that's where you go to do collages, and you can make lots of different collages for Instagram and such. So what I usually end up doing is actually, you know what, I'll just do it like this. Let's go into templates. We're going to create a thumbnail for this particular video. So we're going to go into YouTube. Oh wait, I went into Pinterest by accident. Sorry guys, my eyes are bad. Wait, I want a blank canvas. But look at, if you go into YouTube, look at all these amazing like thumbnails that there are. Like there's just so much here that you can do, and you can go. Actually, I really like this one a lot. I might use that in the future. But I want to teach you guys how to use this. So we're just going to go with a blank canvas. Okay. So we're going to go into YouTube thumbnail, which is right here, and continue. So this is our workspace. This right here is the layers section. So if you've ever used any kind of editing software or any kind of creative software, layers are very important. We're going to come to that a little bit later. We have our blank canvas right now. So what we can do with this blank canvas is we can crop it, we can rotate it, we can resize it, we can choose a background color. Let's choose a background color because that's a good way to get started. Now they have two different options. You have a color picker right here, which you can just kind of slide around. You can create whatever color you want. And this is good if you want to get like super creative, or you can just come over here and just click on any of these, like this one. And then they have different options. So they have eyeshadow. Oh, that's so cute. I didn't even, that's interesting. Oh, look at that, nice millennium pink. Eye test. Ooh, what's that? So there's like lots of different swatches that they have. I mean, there's just like so many different things. It's crazy. So we're just going to go back to the original rainbow, and we're just going to pick this color right here for now. So now that we have this going and we're like that, we're just going to click apply. Oh, you can also create transparent if you want to, if that's something you need for whatever reason. So once we have that going, then we can go down here, and this is the adjust. So you can auto adjust, which is great if you're uploading a picture and you want it to be auto adjusted, or you can go in here and mess with the exposure or the colors or the sharpen, and that's really useful. You can also mess with these things here. These are different exposure, so you can clone things. Dodge is just a way of changing around colors. Burn is like making things look darker. You can just mess with all these different things. And the good thing is, if you don't like what you do, if you come right down here to the bottom, there's this handy little undo button, which is super easy. So the next thing down is the exposures. These are kind of like photo filters like you have on Instagram, and there's tons of different ones. We're not going to mess with that right now because we just have a blank blue slate and there's nothing really that important there. Right here, this is all the places you would go if you want to fix up your photos, and there's just tons of different things. Here is the text tool. So let's go to add text. We're going to just click in here, and we're going to call this video the new Picmonkey. Okay, so this is basically where we start. Now, if you come over here, we have a lot of different things that you can do with this. You go here and you can go into this rainbow and you can select any different color that you want. But in order to have any change effect on this, you need to click into it, and then you need to drag and highlight. So once you highlight, then you can go in there and you can, let's go into here, and you can make it white or any color you want. We're just going to do white for now because I think that that'll be easy to see. Next thing that you can do is you can go into effects. So there's drop shadows. So you see how I did that? Now you see this really cool shadow, and you can change all different aspects of this shadow. You can just play with it. You can change the color. There's just so much you can do with this, and you just play with things, and if you don't like the way it looks, then you just cancel it, or you just hit that handy back button. Now, as far as other effects that you can do inner shadows, which is kind of an interesting thing. I like the drop shadow better, or you can curve. So this is really cool because if you want to do something in a circular way, that's an option. And then the last thing is just erase. So if you want to erase something, but I barely use that. Then when you want to make the text bigger or smaller, you can either use this size tool, or I just drag it. That's how I like to do it. I just drag it right here. Next thing that you can do is highlight it, and if you want to change the text, oops, there you go. Oops, why isn't it? There we go. Oops. Oh, that's why I wasn't clicking on it properly. So there are tons of different texting that you can use. I like this impact one. I use that one a lot because it's really easy to read, especially if you're making thumbnails and stuff. But there is just, I mean, there's tons of text options here for you guys, and they're always adding new stuff all the time. So that just excites me a lot. So now that we have our writing, then you can go in here, and right here, this is a really cool thing because they have lots of different clip art designs. So here are the basic ones. They have just little hearts and shapes and things like that, lines, anything that you could really want to make changes. I mean, there's just absolutely tons of stuff. And then they have design elements, which are really cool. I mean, you can just really let yourself go wild. And then they have different letter sets, and I have a strong suspicion that they're going to be adding more types of letter sets in the future. So this is really cool. I mean, if you like to do any kind of social media, anything for business, I mean, there's just tons and tons and tons of clip art. Then also you have here frames. So if you wanted to, let me just unclick that. If you wanted to make this into a circle or an octagon or a triangle, then you can easily do that. And then you would just scale down the words to fit inside. So that's cool. They also have just regular frames that you can put around. And there's just so many different things. And look at this, there's so many coming soon, which is awesome. I'm excited about that in the future. Then this is a really cool tool. And this I am so excited about. Actually, let me come over here. Let me just come over here because I want to show you guys something. Let's just get this little square up here, okay? We're just going to get that square up there for now, but we'll use that later, just keeping it in mind. This is the background tool. This is awesome because you can use all their different types of backgrounds to create whatever you need. Now, let me tell you that when you're trying to import clip art or when you're trying to import a background, you can add something from your computer. So I'm just going to show you guys what I mean by that. Let's get this picture right here. This is a creepy cemetery, but see, I can add that right in as my background. And that just totally changes everything, which is really, really, really cool. But what I want you guys to also know is that you can layer these backgrounds. So say if I added that, and then I wanted to add something else on top of it. Let's apply that. And now if I want to add something else on top of that, say a watercolor thing, you can just build and build and build and layer. And once you add them, you can fade. You can do the saturation. I mean, you can play with these in so many ways to create different kinds of looks. And your creativity is just whatever you make it. So let's cancel this and let's take a step back so we can go back to our blue background. So you can add clip art not only to the background of your piece, but you can also add clip art to other things. So now I'm selecting the I'm selecting this, right? Oops, try this again. You can actually add a background, and this is something they didn't do in the past. You can add glitter to these letters. How cool is that? I mean, this is really, really fun. You can do lots of different things. Any basic background that you have, I mean, you can just go to town and just add all these really fun, awesome elements to your letters. It just is such a level of creativity. So any background that you want at all, you can add to your letters. You can also change the color of your letters. You can do anything you want to, and you couldn't do that in the past. You can also add different images to these little shapes. So this is just a basic square, but we can add any kind of image we want to this, which is really, really cool. I love this. This is so much fun. Look at those feathers. So this is a great way to add just more stuff to your more emphasis to all of your work. So once you add it, then you can change the colorway if you want to. You can mess around with it. There's all different ways that you can get different effects depending on what you want. Then of course you can saturate it and make it more bold and bright, or make it more black and white, whichever you need. You can fade it if you need to, which is cool. You can rotate it up and down, side to side. You know, you can change the size. There's just so much you can do with this, and it's really, really, really cool. So this is pretty much it. The last thing that I want to show you is they have some theme sections. And this is nice if you have a specific idea of what you want to do. So they have a school one, and this will give you school letters. It'll give you textures. It'll give you like different clip arts. It's just everything you want for school. And this is great if you want to get in and get out really, really quickly. So they have lots of different things. They have vampires, witches, zombies. They have trick-or-treating, Christmas, winter wonderland, celebration, sweethearts. I mean, so, and as you can see, they're adding lots of things. So this is a basic rundown on how to do Photoshop. Let me just show you guys one more thing super quick. Okay, I forgot to show you guys one little thing. You can use these different filters on this thing. So you can use it on there, but you can also use it on here. So it just depends on what you want to use it on, as well as using it on here. So you can really go crazy and customize with filters all over the place. So you can use filters, you can use the backgrounds, and you can use color on the clip art. You can also, I think, do effects on clip art, which is different from what you were able to do in the past. So look at that drop shadow. Yeah, that is freaking awesome. So I like that. So you can really make that pop off the page. So I want to show you guys a couple of things real quick. Firstly, if you wanted this to be a rectangle instead of a square, you would have to hold down your shift and then just drag. If you wanted to keep the aspect ratio, then all you do is just pull on the corner without dragging, and it would just get to be a bigger square or rectangle. So let's say I want to, and these things are all movable, which is nice. Let's say I wanted to have this black square behind this Picmonkey lettering. So the way that you do that is, and this is how you use layers. This black square is right now on the top. Whatever's on the top is, think of it like a sandwich, okay? So this black square is the top piece of bread, but we actually don't want it to be the top piece of bread. We want it to be the meat. So we're going to pull it down to the middle. So now this is the bottom piece of bread, this is the meat, and now the letters are the top piece of bread. So if that makes sense. Now you just kind of wiggle these things around however you see fit to make them stand out. So here we go. Now we can get a little bit more fancy if we want to, and go into effects, go into drop shadow, and instead of having the black drop shadow, which didn't turn out very well because when we have black in the background, we can make that into a white drop shadow. It doesn't really look very good. I'm gonna just tell you, it doesn't look very good at all. I would never upload this, guys. This looks absolutely tragic, but it definitely, you know, stands out a little bit more. And then you can just kind of keep adding however you see fit. So let's just say like, oh, we need a design element. Let's add this random crazy square there. And you should be able to make this transparent. Yes, I thought so. So you can either have the square be like a legit square, or you can have it transparent, which is super cool because you do lots of fun things with that. And then of course you can change the colors. So let's make it blue, because why the heck not? And then if you wanted to go back in here and make this red, oh, that looks absolutely terrible. Oh, terrible. There you go. So we got this random square, and you can see that you can just literally go crazy. So once you have something that's a pure, true masterpiece that you just can't live without. Oh, one more thing. You can click on any of these things and they have different options. So this can be straightened out. So if you accidentally, let me just screw it up so I can fix it. If you accidentally rotated this and then you were like, oh wait, I want it straightened, boom, straightened. That's a new feature. You can change it back to the original aspect ratio. You can delete it altogether. You can duplicate it. So if you wanted like squares everywhere, like just a square party, just because, there you go. So you can duplicate it, or you can delete it, or you can flatten it. Now when you flatten it, it basically makes it so that you cannot like change it or fix it or do anything with it. Like it's over, it's flattened. It's no longer fixable. Once you flatten it, that is pretty much it. So don't flatten it. You also have options over here if you want to straighten it and blah, blah, blah. Once you flatten, let me just unflatten this because I don't like anything flattened. Flatten usually means you're not able to change it or fix it anymore. And of course, if you want to delete it from here, you can delete it from here. That's just another option. So now that we have this masterpiece of a thumbnail that will get so many clicks, you just can go to two different options. You can do share or you can do export. I usually do export because, I don't know, that's just the way I do it. So here you can change the title. You can change it from a JPEG to PNG to a PDF, whatever you need, how you do. All right, you guys, we are almost to the end of the video. Thank you guys so much for sticking with me. If you like this video, definitely do me a favor and give me a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell, you know the drill. So when you're ready to export your video, you click on here, you can change the title, you can choose a PNG, JPEG, or a PDF. I always choose a PNG because they retain their integrity. So if you want to make it bigger, it'll retain the integrity, whereas if you do that with a JPEG, it'll get all pixelated and stuff. Here is where you can change your measurements if you need to, and you can do it by pixels or percentages, however you see fit. And then all you got to do right here is export to computer, and then it'll do it right there. And then when you go back to your hub, it'll be right there. So if you ever need to edit it from another computer, or you just need access to it for whatever reason, it's right there. And so I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I really love Picmonkey. I highly encourage you guys to give it a chance, and I will see you guys in the next video. Take care.